This video is for Chapter 11, Section 11.1 for the math activity Perimeters of Pattern Block Figures. We'll explore perimeters of pattern block figures and we'll use a non-standard unit. You'll need pattern blocks for this activity. In question 1, we define the edge length of a square to be one linear unit, 1 unit. Therefore, the perimeter of the square is 4 units. Determine the perimeter of each of the other pattern block figures. You'll find it helpful to use known lengths to measure the perimeters of other figures. Here's an example with a hexagon where the square is used to mark the 6-unit perimeter of the hexagon. Then in question 2, we form a pattern block figure and a larger polygon. The perimeter of this polygon, the whole shape altogether, is 11 units. Build pattern block figures that satisfy the following conditions, and you're given conditions with the number of pattern blocks and the perimeter. Sketch the figure and label the perimeter. And remember, the inside part doesn't count, just around the outside for perimeter. In question 3, we look at perimeter a little differently. Here we have a perimeter of 16 units with 4 squares. This is a figure because they're just touching on the vertices. You can build pattern block square figures with 4 squares that have perimeters from 8 through 16 units. Use your squares and build those. And here's a hint. The squares don't have to touch along a whole edge or only at a vertex. They can slide along a partial edge. That will help with some of the trickier perimeters. In question 4, we ask you to take 14 triangles and build a figure. And think to yourself, how can I make that figure so that I have the greatest possible perimeter, and how can I make it so it has the least possible perimeter? Write that down, give a sketch. Then repeat this for 1810 parallelograms and 6 hexagons. Each case you want to find the greatest perimeter and the least perimeter. In question 5, what generalizations do the last 2 activities where we explored perimeter suggest? How can you obtain the greatest perimeter, and how can you obtain the least perimeter? In question 6, we give you a pattern block sequence made of triangles. This first figure has a perimeter of 3 units. The second figure has a perimeter of 5 units. Find a pattern and predict the perimeter for the 5th figure in this sequence. Then build the 5th figure and check your work. Then, what's the perimeter of the 30th figure in this sequence? In C, we ask you to write an algebraic expression for the number of triangles in the nth figure of the sequence. Figure 1 has 1 triangle, figure 2 has 3 triangles, figure 3 has 5 triangles, etc. And then we also ask you to write an algebraic expression for the perimeter of the nth figure in the sequence. It might help you find a pattern if you organize your data in a table. For example, you could make a table like this with your figure numbers, the perimeter, and the number of triangles. Notice here for the perimeter, I have it marked as 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. That's in units. And here's my picture. I have 1 unit on the top, 2 units on the bottom, and 1 unit on each side. Tables often help you see patterns. That's it for Math Activity 11.1. I hope you have fun thinking about length and measurement and working with pattern block figures.